was opening day at Fenway Park. Lee Smith, the Red Sox, and their fans were all brought back to earth as this towering Alan Trammell home run took off for parts unknown. That moonshot gave the Tigers a 5-3 extra inning win and the Red Sox a dose of reality. It was a cold slap in the face considering the lofty dreams born in Florida. Okay, Sox won't go undefeated this season and Lee Smith won't go the entire year without giving up a run. But it's only one game, 161 still to play. Still a bit disconcerting. Red Sox fans remember all too well the start of last season when the Sox were swept in Milwaukee, digging themselves a hole they never climbed out of. Needless to say, no one wants a repeat performance. This afternoon, Game 2 against last year's American League East champ, Sparky Anderson and his Tigers would love to get off to a quick start this season. Bruce Hurst is the Sox man of the hour. He and the Red Sox look to take a belated first step toward dethroning the Tigers. It's coming up next, live on NESN. Hello again, everybody. I'm Tom Larson, and welcome to Game 1 of NESN's Red Sox coverage for the summer of 1988. Sox and Tigers here at Fenway this afternoon. It's not what you ordinarily think of as your regular baseball day in Boston at Fenway Park. 85, 90 degrees or so. Not today. There's a chill in the air. The flag out in center field. One moment is limp and the next is indicating a breeze blowing in. But there is no rain, so there's baseball at Fenway Park this afternoon. And here on your New England Sports Network as well. Lefty Bruce Hurst for the Red Sox, Doyle Alexander for the Detroit Tigers. And now it's for real for the play-by-play of this afternoon's game. Upstairs to Ned Martin and Jerry Remy.
Thank you, Tom, and good afternoon, everybody. It's kind of mean here at Fenway Park as the Red Sox go into their second game of the season. Actually, it is our first for the New England Sports Network, my first for them as a complete unity, and my pleasure, of course, to have as my new partner, number 2, Jerry Remy. Been with us 11 games down south. We got one now, and Jerry, this is really kind of a second opener. You've been with losers on opening day before. You've had the day off to think about it. What about this idea of a day off? Now you come in, it's kind of different, isn't it?
Right, it's much different, Ned, especially early in the season like this. You know, everybody's excited about the opening day game. The media attention is tremendous. Players are keyed up for the game, and then you have the day off after. If you lose that game, like the Red Sox did the other day, you've got to read about it, you've got to hear about it for a long time. They're anxious to get this game going today, get that first game out of their mind, and hey, let's get on with it.
I think Bruce Hurst had it about right. He said so much is focused on one game. If it happened in July, why, it's just another tough loss. But this time, all right, let's get it cranked up again. The wind is coming in. You're familiar with that, too, aren't you, at Fenway?
Very uncomfortable day today at Fenway Park. The wind will be blowing in, and it makes this park a little bigger ballpark than it would be in the summertime, of course, with the wind blowing out. And, you know, you can see some balls hit that you think would be out of this ballpark on a normal day, but today they may not go.
We'll be back with the lineups and the ball game right after this. The starting lineup for the Detroit Tigers. It'll be Gary Pettis in center field. Lou Whitaker at second. Angel Salazar in left. Alan Trammell at shortstop. Larry Herndon, the hitter. Ray Knight at first base. Chet Lemon in right field. Tom Brookins at third. And Mike Heath, the catcher. The umpires will be Derwood Merrill behind the plate. Tim Welke at first base. Terry Cooney at second. And crew chief Joe Brinkman calling the plays at third. So we are set for game 2, and here is Bruce Hurst. Having trouble with the Tigers over the years, Jerry, but ready to do it and change it around this year.
Did have a little bit of trouble, Ned. It was 3-10 of his career against the Tigers, but he did win one of the 2 games the Red Sox beat the Tigers last year and had a 4.18 earned run average in those two games. So
actually, a guy that should have turned that thing around against a team that predominantly a left-handed hitting club in their ballpark over the years.
And it is a team that struggles against left-handed pitching.
Gary Pettis, who switches from both sides first up and goes for the first pitch as he did on Monday to open the season, fouling this one off for strike 1. Pettis last year with the California Angels hit .208, 1 home run, 17 runs batted in, stole 24 bases, and with his speed you expect him really to have more than that in the case of a year. Boggs even with the grass at third, and a strike. Hurst is up on the count 0-2 to Pettis, who will be followed by Lou Whitaker and Angel Salazar. Wind blowing in, straight in from the flagpole in center. A pitcher's wind. Back here, watch it. Almost got one right off the bat. You have to be alive here, number 2.
Did you bring your glove?
No, I thought you'd bring yours. There's Sparky Anderson, the manager of the Detroit Tigers, who had himself a satisfactory and rather exciting win on Monday. Strike 3. They turned the ball over, and Pettis committed himself. First base umpire Tim Welke making the call. Strikeout for Hurst.
Well, with Hurst ahead in the count, it looks like the forkball breaking away. Down and away in the strike zone, and Pettis did go around.
So they ask for help from Welke. They get it, and Hurst begins with a strikeout. Lou Whitaker, the batter. Whitaker at .265 last year, 16 home runs, 59 runs batted in. A strike. Whitaker in the opener got a base hit and an RBI. He walked twice, had a sacrifice. He went 1 for 2. And the fastball missing. The count is 1 ball, 1 strike. Boggs on the grass at third on Whitaker. Right past Hurst into center field. Base hit. Whitaker right up the middle, his second hit of the season. His single to center field on Monday drove in a run in the third inning.
Whitaker, who normally has trouble against left-handed pitching, gets a breaking ball here and drives it right back up the middle, and Bruce, lucky that ball didn't get him off the hand or something.
Got it scrunched up and the ball went by him. And now Angel Salazar, the left fielder who won himself a job down in Florida, picked him up as a free agent. There is a strike to Salazar. At San Diego last year, hit .254 with 3 home runs, 17 batted in. And he had a fine spring in Lakeland, Florida. Walked on as a free agent and won a job. Breaking pitch. There's the good breaking ball by Hurst into a right-handed batter. 0-2. Luis Ernesto Salazar. There is an angel, but this is Luis. He's an infielder, outfielder type. Royals signed him as a free agent back in 1973. And he fouls that one off. Last year came up from Las Vegas to San Diego to hit that .254. Had been with the White Sox 2 years ago and a portion of 1985. The Padres last season. Fisted back here. And the count is 0-2. Center field, a huge affair. Auxiliary scoreboard is new on the left side above the sky views. And there's the look at the big mammoth in center. Tails outside, try to get him to chase it. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes to Luis Salazar with Trammell on deck. Historically, in the last 3 years, when Bruce Hurst has had a powerful first inning, a strikeout or 2, and is coming at hitters, he has pitched a very good ball game. That did not happen the tail end of last year when he, unbeknownst to him and to anybody else, was developing mononucleosis and was just tired after 4 innings. But usually when he was on his game, he would come out there and jump at hitters. And that meant a pretty good afternoon or night for Bruce Hurst. Hurst, 15-game winner last year. Boggs. Barrett. They've got 2. Around the horn. 5-4-3, and that takes care of the Tigers in the first. One hit, nobody left. After a half inning, the Tigers nothing, and the Red Sox coming up. Red Sox lineup will be the same as opening day. It'll be Brady Anderson in center field, Marty Barrett at second base, Wade Boggs at third, Jim Rice in left, Mike Greenwell in right, Dwight Evans at first base, Sam Horn the hitter, Rich Gedman the catcher, and Spike Owen at shortstop. And that lineup will face the man who really was as much responsible for the great September that the Tigers had last season as anybody. Doyle Alexander came over from a losing record at Atlanta and just caught fire and led this ball club.
Did he catch fire? 9-0 in 11 starts, and the Tigers won all 11 of those starts that he appeared in. We saw him in spring training, Ned, a little bit against the Red Sox, and he's the kind of guy that you have to really be patient against as far as the hitters are concerned. He's just going to mix his pitches up, sinker, slider, changeup, big slow curveball, try to get you to reach for bad pitches. And if the umpire gives him a wide strike zone, it could be trouble for the Red Sox hitters.
Well, he really did a job on the Red Sox last season. One of them I remember right here at Fenway. He beat them 3-0 at Detroit on the 14th of September. And then here, he shut him out again. He shut out Bruce Hurst, as a matter of fact, on the 23rd of September. It's his 16th career shutout. 13-16 lifetime against the Boston Red Sox. He has been around the grounds, as we all know. He has been a journeyman pitcher at times, and a very good one. Usually he sparkles the first year he is with a ball club.
I'll tell you, about 5 years ago, we saw him in New York, the last game of the season. And, watching him pitch that game, I said, his career has got to be just about over. I mean, he just wasn't throwing anything, wasn't throwing the ball hard. And then all of a sudden you look up and here he is, and just pitching great baseball.
Yeah, with the Yankees, he was 1-7 in 1982. He was 0-2 with them with a 6.35 earned run average in 1983. But then he went to Toronto and helped that ball club with 2 years in which he won 17 games each. He's been with Atlanta, Texas, Baltimore, came over to the Baltimore Orioles from the Dodgers organization, which originally signed him. He was 6-6 with the Dodgers in 1971. He's from Cordova, Alabama originally. And he'll throw the ball from all different directions. He's kind of a short arm pitcher that can give a batter a lot of trouble, can't he?
Put a little on, take a little off, drop down on right-handed hitters. You never know where he's going to come from. Over the top, down by the side. And you have to really, like I said earlier, have to really be patient, because that's how he tries to pitch, try to throw the hitters off their timing.
Here is Brady Anderson, who really came on the opener with 3 hits on Monday after sparkling in spring training. And with Ellis Burks hurt, immediately what became the opening day center fielder. Ellis Burks is coming back very quickly and is expected to join the club in Texas when he'll be back on the active list. After that, some changes have to be made in the roster. But right now, Brady's playing center field. He did nothing to hurt himself for the fans here with 3 hits on Monday. Jack Morris struck him out in his first at bat, and then of course he had that infield hit plus an error by Whitaker on the throw, and he didn't know he had a hit until he found out that Morris had thrown the ball into the dugout, which was a nice gesture for the veteran Jack Morris, realizing the kid had his first major league hit. Spilled foul. It's a 2-ball, 2-strike count to Anderson.
Well, the Red Sox had a workout yesterday, and Brady had a chance to go out in center field and take some balls off the wall, something he really didn't have a chance to do before the opener because of the rain.
He had come to a game here once when he was at New Britain, just to take in a game after playing. There's a tough, bad swing as Alexander feeds him outside, and Anderson strikes out in the first inning for the second straight game.
We talked about Alexander changing speeds. This looks like a changeup on the outside part of the plate. Looked like a little bit out of the strike zone.
That kind of pitch he'll see more of, too. from a pitcher like Alexander. Actually out of the strike zone. Tailing out of the strike zone. Marty Barrett standing in. Barrett had his usual good spring training. He was shut out on Monday when he went 0 for 5. Did reach on an error by Whitaker in the 10th, and hopes were high, but that was it. Little soft line into Trammell. And there are 2 down. Barrett lining out to Alan Trammell at shortstop. That was right off the fists.
Not the place you want one today.
That'll sting for about 3 innings, won't it? Wade Boggs started the season about like Boggs would be expected to yesterday or Monday. 2 doubles to left center field his first 2 times up. He went 2 for 5 and scored a run. Drops a bunt, and it is a base hit. He said he was going to surprise a few people with something else in his game. He's always been able to do it because he works on it. Perfectly placed bunt single for Wade Boggs.
He really did surprise a lot of people right here. Take a look, getting the bat out in front, deading the ball down the third base line. No play. Perfect placement. Take that bunt. If they're giving it to you, take it.
Well, Brookins had not expected that. And the ball was also killed very well by Wade off the bat, and it stopped on the grass. Jim Rice is up. 2 outs, 1 on. Rice had a tough opener. 0 for 4, 2 strikeouts. Lifts toward right field. Lemon is there. And the Red Sox are down in the first. A quiet first inning for each side. And after 1, no score. And look at how it is at Fenway. Sparky Anderson and his Tigers in defense of their American League East.
Joe Mooney really has this field in great shape, doesn't he?
Oh yeah, the grass is new. It's a new sod, and infield about the way you'd like it out there, in good shape for playing.
With the new sod, it makes the infield a little bit slow. Usually this time of the year, this is a faster infield than it would be later on in the season. When the grass gets thicker.
Well, it looks good to us after being away from it for a while and tasting the pleasures of Chain of Lakes Park in Florida. Bruce Hurst missing low and away to Tom Brookins for ball 1. Brookins had a good opener. Batting down on the bottom of the lineup on Monday, had a single and a double in 3 trips. He also walked and scored a run. He's batting in the number 8 spot with Mike Heath on deck. Hurst sneaks the fastball in for a strike. 1 ball and 2 strikes. The outfield straight away on Brookins. Two and 2. Tom, a line drive type hitter. Slap hitter, uses the field. And a pretty tough out for the most part. A guy that would get his bat on the ball. He was the 11th strikeout victim for Clemens on Monday. Ball 3. 3 and 2. Out of play. Count hangs at 3 and 2. We're in the top of the 3rd inning at Fenway. The Tigers and the Red Sox scoreless. Ball 4. Brookins becomes the 2nd walk given up by Hurst. Tigers for the 2nd inning have their lead man on.
Brookins, that kind of guy you don't pay much attention to in the meetings, but all of a sudden you look up and he's on base all day long.
Well, plays a good steady third base. Here's Mike Heath, the catcher, batting in the number 9 spot. He hit 8th on Monday and went 0 for 4. struck out twice. As a matter of fact, was called out on strikes twice. The 5th and 8th victims for Clemens. Heath hit .281 last year and did a good job. As there goes the runner, and a hit and run base hit right center field. That'll get Brookins to third easily. Ball picked up in right by Greenwell, and the Tigers have runners at the corners. Nobody out. Nicely executed by Mike Heath with Brookins on the move.
Picture perfect hit and run right here. See the pitch by Hurst. Outside part of the plate, right where he'd like it.
That's a good spot for a hit and run pitch to be.
Yeah, sure is.
Go right with it. So the Tigers have Hurst in a bit of trouble here. Runners at first and third, nobody out. Top of the order up. Little pop-up in the infield. Evans calls at first, and Gary Pettis is out. His first ball hitting for the second time in this game, and for third or fourth time in the 2 games so far. What we're talking about down south is that Pettis, who strikes out a lot, has now been going after that first pitch so as not to get behind too much.
It's one way to cut down on the strikeouts, but I think they'd like him to take a few more pitches at the top of that order. But if you're going to swing early in the count, you won't let the pitcher get ahead of him. You won't strike out as much.
It's a catch-22 that way, because they do want Pettis on the bases with his speed. Lou Whitaker single to center in the first. Boggs on the edge of the grass at third, and the move to first. Heath is back. Tigers have their 2 table setters at the lower end of the order here. Now can do some work if they can with the top of the order. Pettis is out, but Whitaker is up. Strike 1.
That little pop-up was a big out for Bruce Hurst. The double play gets you out of the inning.
Red Sox infield at double play depth. Barrett at second. Owen shading a bit towards second base at shortstop and in a step. 1 ball, 1 strike. The fastball moving Whitaker back. 2 ball, 1 strike count to Sweet Lou. Salazar on deck. Runners at first and third. Brookins at first and Heath at third. Or Heath at first and Brookins at third. With 1 away. There's the breaking ball. Whitaker didn't exactly give up on it, but he kind of followed it down and hoped it would not break over.
Once those knees buckle, forget it.
2 balls and 2 strikes. Bit high. Another 3-2 count for Hurst. Heath will be holding. There's a spilled foul. Heath at first and Brookins at third. Hanging count of 3-2 to Whitaker with Salazar on deck. Tigers trying to break the scoring ice here. And the move. He saw it. This kind of amble actually wasn't off the bag by much.
If he gets picked up from that spot, he's trying to get a little bit of a walking lead.
It's foul, out of play. Three and 2. Fighting off a pretty good pitch there, Whitaker. Count remains 3 balls, 2 strikes. Whitaker's people regard him as kind of a smallish second baseman, which he is not. He's got a lot of strength in the upper body. He waits and takes. The bases are loaded with one out. Second walk of the inning given up by Hurst, his third of the game, and the Tigers have him loaded up with Salazar coming to the plate.
Whitaker really put on a good battle that time against Bruce. Fouled off a lot of tough pitches, some pitches that were out of the strike zone, and worked into a walk. I think Whitaker looks a little bigger right now because he's probably got a ton of long undershirts on underneath in this cold weather.
Should anyway. Here's Salazar, who bounced into a 5-4-3 double play to end the first inning. Off speed and strike one. Boggs started the double play in the first. Just missing. Ball one, strike one. To center field, way back. Anderson tracking it, can't get to it. Bouncing around in the triangle, and 3 runs will score. A double for Salazar, deep to center field. Scoring Brookins, Heath, and Whitaker. 3-0 Detroit. Ball hit into a strong wind and still past the run of the center fielder Brady Anderson.
Like a fastball out over the plate, and Salazar really put a charge into this ball. Anderson with a long way to run, even against the wind, is not able to get that ball. Makes a nice play there one-handed to get it back in. The 3 runs will already cross.
Luis Salazar driving home 3. Relay came on, and the last man to score was Whitaker. Came in comfortably ahead of the throw. Now Alan Trammell is up with a runner at second base and a 3-0 Tiger lead. Strike. Luis Salazar continuing his good work in spring training. Trammell walked in the second. Dipping down. 1 ball, 1 strike to Allen. 1 out. Early activity as Dennis Lamp gets up in the bullpen for Boston. Hurst has gotten himself in trouble with the walks. Down out of the strike zone again. He's walked 2 this inning. Both have scored. He's given up 2 hits. Foul ball off the bat of Trammell, out of play, and a 2-2 count. Brookins began the inning with a walk. Heath singled. Brookins going to third. Pettis popped up, and then Whitaker with a good at bat wangled the walk to load the bases and set up the double, driving home 3. The double by Salazar.
We mentioned the trouble that this club had with left-handed pitching last year, and they should be better this year with people like Salazar and Ray Knight from the right side.
Fastball missing inside. Ball 3. Another full count for Hurst. He's had 3 in this inning. To center field, Anderson. That's a circle into right center. Fires toward third, and it's not in time. Salazar moves into the bag after tagging. Trammell is out. There are 2 away. Deep enough to get that runner to tag and get over to the third base.
once again, Anderson has to go a long way for this ball. Across the wind, blowing it back in, has to circle, get momentum going toward third base to make the throw. But plenty of time for Salazar to get to third.
Brady Anderson will play a fairly shallow center field. It's not that he likes to play it all the time. He has said, depending on the hitters and what people tell me about the hitters, I'll gauge it that way. Ellis Burks does play a shallow center field.
Red Sox just made an appeal at second base, but safe was the call.
Disallowed, and here is Larry Herndon. Ball one. Herndon went down swinging in the second inning. Past Hurst into center. Base hit and another Tiger run. 4-0. And they are running at Bruce Hurst here. He's gotten himself in trouble. Working behind and then walking hitters. Now Bill Fisher, the pitching coach, will come out. That's an RBI for Larry Herndon as he singles sharply up the middle to score Salazar.
First baseman batting.
Once again, a Tiger hitting going right back at Bruce Hurst. Fastball down, and Herndon really hits this ball hard up the middle.
So the Tigers have jumped on Hurst for 2 walks and 3 hits this inning. And Fisher is trying to say, okay, get one more out here. Tigers loading up with the right-handers against Hurst. Dennis Lamp trying to get warm out there. It is not a day to get warm, whether you're throwing or not. 4-0 Tigers. Top of the third. And the hitter is Knight. Strike one. Ray Knight fly to right field in the second. Outfield pushed around toward right a little bit. Anderson playing toward right center. The gap on Knight is in left center field. Hurst quickly ahead of him. 0-2. Knight's the 8th man to come up this inning. The 0-2 pitch, and down it goes for a ball. Knight reported to Miami, to the spring training base. The Baltimore Orioles got a phone call and said, you're going to Detroit. He'd just been traded. He hadn't even unpacked the bags to start spring training in Miami. 2 balls and 2 strikes. So he just drove up the turnpike and headed toward Lakeland, where he finished and started and finished spring training with the Tigers. Punched toward the middle and stopped by Barrett. Nice play. Marty Barrett over to Spike Owen for the force on Herndon on a spinner off the bat of Knight. And that ends the inning. But damage done as the Tigers get 4. And after 2.5, they lead 4-0. So after 2.5 innings, it's 4-0 quickly Detroit, Jerry, and 37-year-old Doyle Alexander with 4 runs to work with. If he's anything like he was last September, it's uphill for the Red Sox.
It won't be an easy road back, that's for sure.
But it's a cold day. It's Fenway Park, and we'll see what happens.
Do we look warm?
Now we're on the 14-yard line, 3rd down.
Where's that shot of Lake Lulu?
Have no lakes to shoot up here unless we get a Winnipesaukee up there. Red Sox will have Spike Owen first up against Alexander. Then it'll be Brady Anderson and Marty Barrett. Alexander has given up 2 hits, a bunt single to Boggs in the first and a single to right by Greenwell in the second inning. Yankees and Minnesota are in the 3rd now. Each has scored. Yankees got a run off Straker in the 2nd, and the Twins came back with a run off Candelaria in the 3rd. It's 1-1. Yankees batting in the bottom of the 3rd inning. In the National League this afternoon, San Diego is at Houston And then later on, Don Zimmer's Chicago Cubs are at Atlanta. Dave Winfield knocked in the Yankee run with a sacrifice fly in that game at the stadium. And Candelaria's balk allowed Mike Gladden to score, Dan Gladden to score for Minnesota. So there's the balk taking effect again.
Well, I got to figure the stolen bases will be way down this year. It's supposed to help the runners, but why steal it? Just let it walk to second base.
That's right. Take away the walking lead, but then you can walk to second. Owen takes a strike, and the count is 1-1 to Spike. Brookins in a bit on the grass at third. Owen, who worked this spring. Matter of fact, Remy worked with him a lot on the bunt. As Spike figures that could be part of his game. And Owen would like to atone a little bit for the error that led to the Trammell homer on opening day. Spike, who was, I think, second in the league fewest errors for shortstops last year, usually very steady. This one just came up and ate him up in the 10th inning. 2-1 pitch. Ball 3.
He did everything right on that ball, Ned. The ball got in the right position. It just came up on him a little bit and was in the position to keep that ball in front of him, but it just bounced off to the side.
3-1 delivery to Owen, and he's on with a walk. First walk given up by Alexander. Red Sox with a lead man on for the second straight inning.
Ready for Christmas.
Here comes Santa Claus. Here comes Santa. Top of the order up. It's Brady Anderson, who went down swinging, took a bad cut at a pitch outside in the first inning. Anderson with 3 hits in the opener. Goes toward the wall in left center field, but not deep enough as Salazar calls. Luis Salazar taking the fly ball off the bat of Brady Anderson. 1 down. Marty Barrett coming in. Barrett had a soft line drive out to shortstop in the first inning. Tigers 4, Red Sox nothing in the third. The strike from Alexander. Barrett, who has his own method at home plate, and they call him, his teammates call him, the second human rain delay since Mike Hargrove is out of baseball. Barrett has some steps out. Slowly to shortstop, Trammell to Whitaker. And a force out. Barrett safe on the fielder's choice. Owen is out at second. And there are 2 gone. Had no chance at all for the double play, but the slowness of the ball with Trammell coming in made it easy to make a play at second base. Wade Boggs had a bunt single down the third base line in the first inning. He just killed it on the grass.
You know, watching Wade hit in the opening day game, usually that first game there's a lot of tension, players are all tight and everything, and Wade, you could just see he made his mind up. He was going to go to the opposite field regardless of where the pitch was, and that's one way to help you relax.
Did it 2 times in a row, almost identical doubles. So you figure he's off again. He's 2 times at bat. He's already got 2 doubles. He usually leads the league or is close to the top in 2 base hits.
Only seems right that he should get the first hit of the season.
Hit .411 at Fenway Park last year. Seems hardly enough. 1 ball and 1 strike. And the strike is picked up by Alexander. 1-2. Alexander will move the ball around on you and kill you sometimes, because it looks sometimes as if you'd like to grab a bat and go out to face him until you're 0 for 4. Runner breaks and the ball is by. Barrett takes second. Right down through the legs of Mike Heath. Marty Barrett goes to second base.
Oh, 4 runs down, still running. Why not? Knight was playing behind Barrett at first base, paying no attention to him. Right through the wickets. Mike Heath.
Goes as a wild pitch.
He's got to get a stolen base too, doesn't he?
Sure, he was on the that's right, that's a ball, and he's on the move anyway, so the stolen base for Barrett. No wild pitch. Boggs spins a base hit to left field. Barrett being waved on. Ball fired in by Salazar, cut off. Red Sox have a run. Boggs is 2 for 2. And the stolen base by Barrett pays off as he scores.
Take a look at Wade Boggs go down for a low and outside pitch. See that head right on the ball? Perfect swing to the opposite field. Barrett, no hesitation, comes around third. Pretty good throw right here, but cut off. Might have been a close play at the plate if he'd have let it go.
Barrett had that beaten, although he didn't take that wider turn, so he was able to get in on the plate. Jim Rice is up with Boggs at first and a 4-1 game. There's a base hit right center field for Rice. Boggs takes one look and will hold at second. A 2-out single by Rice. And Jim picks up his first hit of the year.
Ball running in on Jim Rice. Able to get his hands in and fight this ball off with the strength that he has in the opposite field.
So the Red Sox come up with a little bit of dew here in the third inning as they get a walk and a couple of base hits with a stolen base. They trail 4-1 as Greenwell comes in. Mike single to right field in the second. Fouling it back. Boggs is at second base. Rice at first. 2 out.
Very important for the Red Sox to put some runs up right here. Already got one. Try for some more. Club goes down by 4 runs. Come right back and get some runs right away.
Do it against a pitcher of Alexander's caliber. Alexander had a good spring. Won a couple of ball games. Got his work all done early. A ball boxed off to the left by Heath. No advance.
Nice job by Heath right there. Keep the ball in front of him.
Don't try to lunge for it. Just box it around.
And you fall behind. We'll take another look at that block by Heath. Bounces out to his left, gets the glove down low and tries to keep that ball in front of him. Square his body up.
It's a 1-ball, 1-strike count to Greenwell. Right side to Whitaker. And that does that. The Red Sox do pick up a run. They leave 2. And after 3 innings of play, the Tigers 4 and the Red Sox 1. Take a look at that last pitch by Bruce Hurst on Trammell. It was a beauty.
Threw him a 3-1 breaking ball, and on 3-2 this nasty fastball low and in. Strike 3. See Trammell's reaction to that pitch. I can't believe it.
He heard he's out. Strike 3. Trammell very professional though. Just kind of put the helmet and the bat down along the line and went out to his position. And did not throw it. See what would have happened if Kirk Gibson had got that call. Oh. Roger Clemens, Charlie Moss, Dwight Evans in there. Clemens with an excellent game yesterday. Doyle Alexander has a pretty good one corking today, giving up 5 hits but just 1 run. That game was classic. 2 of the top pitchers in the league and in the game really going at each other right into the end, and neither giving any quarter. Clemens with a lot of pitches, 130 some. Red Sox had the one good inning against Morris, and that was about it.
He really got tough as the game went on.
Yep. Brady Anderson leads in the 5th. Strike. Anderson is 0 for 2. Struck out. Fly to left. And another one. A pitcher like Alexander can turn an eager rookie into knots, and that's the kind of thing he likes to do on hitters. Little here, little there, in and out. 0-2 to Brady. Go low on that one. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Well, very seldom you're going to see the same pitch twice, and if you do see the same pitch, it probably won't be the same speed 2 times in a row.
1-2 with the tail on it for ball 2. 2-2.
Looks like they're trying to keep the ball away from Anderson. Been throwing him in. He's been getting his base hit, so try something new. Keep the ball away. That's what they've been doing up to this point anyway.
Then again, he struck him out on that outside pitch in the 1st inning, out of the strike zone. Got him to fly to the opposite field to left in the 3rd. He had a fastball against Morris for a base hit yesterday. He hit a change against him too. Waited pretty well on it and got that kind of a soft flare to center field.
Saw him do that quite a few times in spring training. Hit that changeup.
2-2. Very high, being blown toward the dugout, and Brookins over, can't get to it. Tom Brookins chasing it along with Mike Heath. Anderson lives with a 2-2 count.
It's a cat and mouse game. They're going to try to find out what he hits, what he can't hit. When he finds that they're pitching him one certain way, and he's going to have to make an adjustment himself. You adjust your whole career. Kyle Yastrzemski adjusted till the day he retired.
Yeah, he sure did. Stances and everything. Handling of pitches. Yeah, the shot to Whitaker. Line drive at the bat, but Lou Whitaker right there for out number 1.
Tried to run this pitch away, but didn't get as far as he wanted to away, and Anderson able to pull this ball, hit the ball well.
There's 1 down in the Red Sox 5th, and Marty Barrett is up. Scored the Red Sox run in the 3rd. Got on a force out. Stole second and then scored on Boggs' single. Again to Whitaker. This time not so tough a chance, right at him. So Lou has 2 putouts in a row. 2 down. Wade Boggs coming in, 2 for 2. Bunt single in the 1st. And a single to left to drive in the run in the 3rd. Tigers leading 4-1. Very businesslike. Doyle Alexander going to work. Strike 1. And another one. Base hit down into the left field corner. That spells double all the way. 3rd double in 2 games this year for Wade Boggs. He's 3 for 3 today.
Watch the hand action of Wade Boggs. This ball up in the strike zone. Brings those hands in. Just drives this ball the other way. Didn't push it off the other way. Drove it the other way. Really using left field.
They figure that he might pull Alexander, so they play him over toward left center, and he uses the left field line. Boggs at second, 2 outs, and Jim Rice up.
That's the way you have to approach a pitcher like Alexander. Throw a lot of off-speed stuff. You got to be thinking about the other way. Sometimes you try to pull a guy like this and you'd be way out in front.
Rice 1 for 2. A strike. Jim singled to right center in the 3rd inning. Flied to right field in the 1st. Boggs is now 5 for 8 to start the season, including 3 doubles. 1 ball, 1 strike to Rice. Bottom of the 5th inning, the Tigers leading 4-1. 2 outs. Boggs at second. There is a strike. Jim had a notion and held. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Looks like that ball ran right back in over the plate. Started out outside and got it right on the corner.
It's a 2-2 count to Jim Rice. And again, Heath in front of that, saving perhaps a base. 3-2.
We've watched Heath block balls all day long, and here's another one. Squaring his body up, getting that glove down to cover the hole, and it bounced right in front of him. Then attack the ball.
Seeing it was coming at him, just dropped to his knees, and he was right there. He couldn't possibly have gotten it past him. 3-2 to Rice. Out of play. Jim just guarding the plate on that one. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Wynn whipping the flag in. Well hit toward the wall in left center field. Over for it. Pettis leaps up, can't get to it. A run scores. Rice has a double. The Red Sox trail 4-2. Jim Rice with a hard double off the wall in left center to score Boggs.
It's like a fastball. He gets up, out over the plate. Rice able to get his arms extended and drives this ball off the wall into the wind.
What a charge into that ball out into left center.
You got to crush one today to get one out of this ballpark or even off the wall. I said earlier, the wind blowing in, this becomes a very big ballpark.
Pettis trying to make one of those circus catches, had no chance, but he was ably backed up by Salazar. Rice in scoring position, and Greenwell is up. Ball 1. Mike Greenwell 1 for 2, a single in the 2nd inning.
They've hit the ball hard off Alexander this inning. Anderson, Barrett, Boggs, and Rice.
Red Sox have 7 hits now. Shot to short. Trammell right there, playing perfectly for Greenwell. Another well-hit ball, but he's out. Red Sox pick up a run and leave one. And after 5, it is Detroit 4, Boston 2. Top of the 6th inning at Fenway. Tigers 4, Red Sox 2. And the Red Sox chipped away at Doyle Alexander and got some telling hits and actually telling swings at that plate in that inning. Crowd at Fenway. Fighting it off, and here hoping for a Red Sox comeback. Larry Herndon first up against Bruce Hurst. Ball 1. Tom Brunansky has doubled home Gary Gaetti down in New York, and the Twins have taken a 2-1 lead over the Yankees. Sixth inning. Pitched down low for a ball. Count 2-0 to Herndon, who has struck out and singled home a run. Hurst has fanned 3. He has walked 3. 2 of those walkers scored. 2-1 now.
Good 2-0 pitch right there by Bruce, running that ball away from Herndon.
It's a 3-1 count to Larry. Herndon will be followed by Ray Knight and Chet Lemon. Tigers got 4 in the 3rd. The Red Sox single runs in the 3rd and the 5th. Boggs. 1 out. Wade playing fairly well off the line and over for Herndon. 1 down in the 6th. Ray Knight. Fly to right in the 2nd. Fielder's choice in the 3rd. One ball, no strikes. Former New York Met, as we all know. From 1986. Right over the top for Hurst, and it's a 1-1 count. Two and 1. Knight also, well, he began his career with the Cincinnati Reds. Good, solid ball player. Solid base hit, left center field. Covered quickly by Anderson, and that will hold Knight after the wide turn. 1 out single for Knight. That's the 7th Tiger hit. Now Chester Lemon, the right fielder, has grounded out and singled. Tigers have 1 extra base hit, and that was the big one. Salazar's 3-run double. Strike. Red Sox have 2 doubles, one by Boggs, one by Rice. Ripped toward deep left, hangs up, and it's off the wall. Over to third base goes the runner, and here comes a double run down. They don't get anybody. Safe at first base. Lemon almost caught as he took the wide turn. Knight went to third. Barrett took a look at Knight and fired into first base. Not in time. It's a high wall single for Chet Lemon.
Lemon hits this high pitch off the wall, and Rice makes a good play playing this ball off the wall and throwing into second base. Lemon was headed for second base. If we watch again, Rice playing this ball off the wall, barehanded. Throw comes in, and right here Marty takes a look to home and then third. By the time he fires back to first, it's too late.
He had the bag. Evans made the call, trying to get the call.
That throw to second by Rice keeps the double play in order here.
Rice has done that so well, playing the wall here and left. Runners at first and third, 1 out. Hurst in a jam. The count is 1 ball and no strikes to Tom Brookins. And bullpen action again for the Red Sox. Dennis Lamp up for the 4th time. 2. Suddenly, Hurst, who'd gotten a good inning done in the 5th and in the 4th, actually giving up lead singles in each inning and getting out of trouble, had a double play help him in the 4th inning and got the good strikeout on Trammell in the 5th. But now with 1 out here in the 6th inning, singles by Knight and Lemon have runners at the corners. 2-0. And there's a strike. 2-0 to Tom Brookins. Outfield straight away, infield at double play depth around second. Boggs has it. The throw to second base. They've got one. The run scores. What a play by Boggs. Boggs saved all kinds of trouble, really. He got the middle man. A run did score with Knight coming in from third anyway. Boggs had no chance for the play at the plate.
2 nice plays. One by Boggs, no chance at the plate, and a nice play by Barrett here for keeping this ball going into right field. Has to throw from one knee. Barrett has to stretch like a first baseman and make a nice play on a tough hop.
That was a reaction play on the part of Boggs. Smothered that ball. Hit hard by Brookins. Runners at first now with 1 run in. It's 5-1 Tigers. And he down to third. Boggs busy. Gets to Barrett for the force to end the inning. What could have been a worse inning turns out to be a 1-run inning for the Tigers. And after 5.5, they lead by a score of 5-2. And we got a game being played in hockey weather and baseball right now, with the Red Sox trailing the Detroit Tigers 5-2. We're in the bottom of the 6th inning. Doyle Alexander and Bruce Hurst have gone all the way. Sparky Anderson with his club up by now again 3 runs.
I would think this would be the time of the game that Sparky will keep a close eye on Doyle Alexander. Last inning, a lot of balls hit hard off him. He's not really a 9-inning pitcher. Likes to get him into the 7th inning.
Yeah, that's enough.
He's got Henneman and Hernandez out there in the bullpen, so he'll be keeping a close eye on him, I'm sure, from this point on.
Sparky, whom they call Captain Hook, through his years. Cincinnati and Detroit will use it. Tiger bullpen out there where it's got to be just about as cold as it is anywhere else in this ballpark today. Dwight Evans first up against Alexander. Red Sox hammered Alexander pretty well last inning. A hard line drive by Anderson, a soft line drive by Barrett, and then back-to-back doubles by Boggs and Rice before a pretty hard ground ball out by Greenwell. One strike to Evans, who has twice flied to center field, one time deep.
Evans calls for the ball, like to get a look at it.
Batter's privilege. Pick up that smudge. Does that make that much difference?
To some people it does.
Smudge on the baseball.
Some of those balls they start the game off with, they're really dark.
2 balls and 1 strike.
Makes a difference if you look at a ball and it's got a big cut in it, that's for sure.
Ball is ripped toward the gap in left center field and past the dive of Gary Pettis into second base. Dwight Evans, he's got a double. That ball was ripped. Dwight Evans hammering one to the 379 mark for a leadoff double.
Well, that double's going to send Billy Muffet to the phone to the bullpen. Alexander with the fastball right over the heart of the plate. Evans doesn't miss it. He's hit the ball hard today.
3 times to center field. That time it got in, and that was on a line. So the bullpen will get busy for Detroit. Paul Gibson, one of them up. Horn going for that outside pitch and fouling it away. Sam Horn has singled in 2 trips. Singled to center field his last time up. Red Sox down 5-2. Bottom of the 6th inning.
Tigers sending another catcher out to the bullpen. They only have one out there. We get Matt Nopes going out to warm up the pitcher. A little early in the game yet for Henneman or Hernandez.
Yeah, this is the middle part right now. You want to get the setup men who are in there. One ball and 1 strike.
You notice the last 2 innings, more of Alexander pitches have been up in the strike zone. He has to be down low for him to be effective.
He's been up the last inning. He was up all the way through it. 1 ball, 1 strike to Sam Horn. Lays off. It cost him a strike. One and 2. Plate umpire Durwood Merrill.
I think it's Terry Cooney behind the plate today, Ned.
No,
Merrill's
Cooney.
at second.
Merrill is second base. It's a pop-up, shallow center field. Gary Pettis calls. And an important out for Alexander to get by the left-handed hitting Horn, but then he has another left-hander, Gedman, coming up. Runner at second base, Dwight Evans. Rich Gedman has struck out and fouled to the catcher. Tigers 5, Red Sox 2. And Heath and Alexander want to get together. It's a runner at second base. Maybe turn a sign around or decoy turning a sign around.
Well, he got a sign and it looked like he was flipping his glove against his chest. It looks like he didn't want that sign. Kept getting it. So get together, talk about what we're going to throw here. Sparky working on that chew.
Gedman high and foul, out of play. Red Sox down by 3 runs, have a runner at second base with 1 out. Each team has 8 hits in this game. Again toward left, but foul again, a little longer this time. A long strike 2. Gedman having very little trouble now with the thumb that he tore up last year in a game against Toronto that put him down for the rest of the season. Has a protective, 2 different protective plastics for the thumb when he's catching and when he's hitting. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Down to second baseman Lou Whitaker. And there are 2 away with Evans going to third. So they get Gedman. There are 2 down, a runner at third base, and Spike Owen is up. Owen has walked and popped up. Scoreboard up on top of the left field stands. A strike to Owen. Red Sox trying to get back within 2. Right side. Gloved at first by Ray Knight, and the Red Sox leave a runner at third base. After 6 innings, Detroit leads 5-2. The Red Sox trail by 3 runs, and they go up against a new Tiger pitcher, Willie Hernandez, in the 8th inning. Hernandez coming on to relieve Doyle Alexander, who did a very workmanlike job in the 7 innings that he worked. Willie Hernandez trying to get back in the good graces of the Tiger fans after a 3-4 year last season, 3.67 earned run average. He appeared in 45 games and had but 8 saves in 49 innings, gave up 53 hits and 20 earned runs. He had 30 strikeouts and 20 walks. Obtained from the Phillies in a 4-man trade, a very big trade for the Tigers in 1984, and helped them win everything the year that he had when the Tigers won it all in that outstanding season of '84, when they started out the year 35-5, and Hernandez had 32 saves in that one season of the 140 innings pitched. Turned the ball over, nasty screwball. Last year an off year for him, and the year before was not that great either, but still he had 24 saves 2 years ago.
Last year, of course, with the arm problems, and fastball, sinker, slider, great screwball when he's on, has a great screwball, and just as effective against right-handed hitters as left-handed hitters with that screwball.
Has had 10 saves against Red Sox clubs over the years since he came over to the American League. This is the 8th inning. The Red Sox trail by 3. Alexander went 7 innings and gave up 8 hits and just 2 runs, both earned. Walked only 1. And he struck out a couple. Hit a batter. Mike Greenwell first up against Hernandez. Tigers lead 5-2. Ball 1.
One thing Hernandez will do against left-handed hitters, he'll drop down when he gets ahead of him. He'll drop down from the side, throw both a fastball and a slider from that position.
Greenwell watches it right into the mitt of Mike Heath. 2 balls and no strikes. Mike has had a hit in 3 times. Singled his first time up. 3-0. And in close to him again, ball 4. In the last 3 innings, the Red Sox have had the lead man on each time. So far, have not been able to plate them. And 2 other times in the game, they've had the lead man on. Dwight Evans coming up. Evans has flied twice to center field and doubled to left center field off the wall. ball, no strikes. That'll bring Billy Muffett, the pitching coach for the Tigers, to the mound. And Mike Henneman starting to throw in the bullpen.
Well, I'm sure Evans right here will, I'm sure, take a strike. And it hasn't even really been close to the plate till this point.
No. Threw one outside to Greenwell and 3 inside. Muffett, a former Red Sox pitcher. Back to the dugout. Just a word to Willie.
Throw strikes.
One ball, 1 strike to Dwight Evans. Tigers 5, the Red Sox 2 in the 8th. Time getting short for the home 9. Greenwell at first base, nobody out. Picks up the corner on Evans. Dwight falls behind 1 and 2.
Tough pitch right there. Low and outside. Looks like he wants the screwball.
Gotta move over that way for it. That's
There
what
it
he
is.
gets too. Again, a nice boxing job by Mike Heath. Screwball in the dirt.
So Mike Heath pouncing again on the ball. Really blocks the ball nice.
Two ball, 2 strike count. Time called. Evans backing out, getting himself set again. Greenwell, short lead off first. It's a base hit. Greenwell to second. 2 on, nobody out. Brookins got himself dirty, came close to stopping that, but could not. And Evans is on with his second hit.
Evan going down for a low, looked like fastball. Driving in the hole. Brookins has to dive, can't come up with it. And that brings the tying run to the plate. Sam Horn.
So the Red Sox trying to mess around here a little bit in the 8th inning. 2 runners aboard with nobody out. They trail by 3. Horn is 1 for 3, singled in the 4th inning. Ball 1. Hernandez working behind.
Tigers move Ray Knight at first base over closer to the line with the tying run at the plate.
Puts a charge on that one as Hernandez challenges Horn inside and gets strike 1.
He had some heat on that ball.
He did. Brookins, the third baseman, very wide of the bag, over towards short. Trammell over towards second. Right side of the infield. Playing Horn to pull. Ball 2. Left fielder Pat Sheridan staying at home on Horn. He is not playing in the pull. There's a gap in left center field. And Pettis about a step toward right center, with Chet Lemon playing deep and straight away and right. 2 balls, 1 strike to Horn. Greenwell at second, Evans at first. It's spun into left field for a base hit. The bases are loaded. And Sam Horn goes to the opposite field, fighting off a pretty good pitch to load him up. No chance for Greenwell to even think about scoring. The bases are full, nobody out in the 8th.
Sam battles that left-hander, able to get the base hit to the opposite field.
Kevin Romine is going to run for Horn.
Take a look at Sam Horn's swing. Get the fastball and hit it the other way. Sure, he had home run on his mind, but he'll take that.
Kevin Romine running for Sam Horn. Romine has some speed and becomes the designated hitter. The Red Sox kick up a fuss in the 8th. Bases full, nobody out, and Gedman up. And Gedman is due. He hasn't had the ball out of the infield. He has struck out, fouled to the catcher, and grounded to second. Gedman 2 years ago. Strike one in Tiger Stadium when the Red Sox were charging to the pennant. They were behind, and he came up with the bases loaded as a pinch hitter against Hernandez and hit a grand slam in Tiger Stadium, fouling that one off. He is behind here, though, 0-2.
This is where Hernandez gets very tough. We talked about him dropping down. He dropped down that time on Gedman. Rich had a funny swing at that ball. Romine's got a job on first base right here, and that's to break up the double play. Get yourself a good lead. Get down there and break it up.
Gedman saving himself, fouling that one off. Little number off the left. 0-2 to Gedman. Greenwell, Evans, and Romine on the bases. Romine representing the tying run. Gedman hits a fly ball to straightaway center. Pettis is back. This will get a run home, and it will get Evans to third. It is 5-3 now. Now Gedman coming from behind in the count. Gets the sacrifice fly with an RBI, drove it deep enough to score Greenwell and to get Evans to tag up and go to third.
Good bidding hit him by Gedman right there, dropping down on him, able to get the ball in the air, get at least one run home. Evans able to tag up at second, get to third.
Red Sox with one out. Spike Owen is not going to bat. It'll be Todd Benziger. Benziger will bat for Owen. Each a switch hitter, but Benziger with some power. And getting his first turn at bat this year in a tight spot. There is Henneman in the Tiger bullpen. Hernandez walked Greenwell to start the inning, gave up a single to Evans and a single to Horn to load the bases. Romine running for Horn. Gedman got the run home with a sacrifice fly to deep center. And now Todd Benziger comes up. Runners at first and third. One out. Tigers 5, Red Sox 3.
Like Billy Muffet was warning about the possible balk. Make sure he comes to a stop. Tough job pinch hitting right here. Cold day. I'm sure he's up in the clubhouse getting loose.
Strike one to Benziger. Benziger, who has played at first in the outfield in the spring. Low for a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. Todd had a fine rookie season in 1987. After coming up from Pawtucket, hit .278 with the Red Sox. 8 home runs. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
See Heath also reminding him about stopping. Make sure you come to a complete stop. Gonna have to do that early in the year until they get accustomed to the rule.
Absolutely. Red Sox pitchers worked on that all spring. 4-second stop. 1-2 pitch. In tight. 2-2. Evans at third. Romine at first. 1 out. 2-ball, 2-strike count.
Hasn't thrown the screwball yet. This might be the time for it.
The right fielder Lemon over toward the line on Benziger, hitting right-handed. Way outside and high. And it's now 3-2. Anderson involved in another game at Fenway. 3 balls, 2 strikes to Benziger. The on-deck hitter is Brady Anderson. Here it is. Fought off by Todd. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Benziger, who feels him kind of like the odd man out in this situation, can sit around and be used in a lot of different ways by McNamara. He's just in kind of an outfield glut here. Base hit right field. Romine on the move will go to third. A run scores. It's 5-4. Pinch single. Todd Benziger. They were starting Romine for second base, so he easily gets to third. And now the tying run is 90 feet away.
What a tough at-bat Benziger put on Hernandez. Fastball outside, tough pitch. Able to drive this ball the other way. With Romine off with the pitch, he's able easily to go into third base. First and third. Tough at-bat by Benziger.
Boy, that was something. So Todd Benziger is at first base. The runner at third is Kevin Romine. And at the plate, Brady Anderson. Jody Reed is coming on to run for Benziger. And a hand for Todd Benziger as he comes back to the dugout from his teammates and from the folks back of the dugout at first base.
Nice way to start the season. First at bat.
All right. Reed, of course, put in to run for him. He can run, and he will be in the game as a number 9 hitter and the shortstop when the Red Sox take the field. 8th inning, 5-4 Detroit. Anderson the batter. Strike 1. Brady getting his first look at a left-hander like Hernandez. Anderson is 0 for 3 in this game. Has struck out, flied to left, lined to second, and been hit by a pitch. Goes foul down the third baseline. Reaching out to get that breaking ball and going with it. Just got a little piece that spun it foul. Kind of a slice off the bat. Romine, of course, down the line in foul ground. And now it is 0-2 to Brady Anderson with Marty Barrett on deck. Tigers have 5 runs and 9 hits, and the Red Sox 4 runs and 11 hits.
That's why it's important for that runner on third base to stay in foul territory. If that ball hits him in foul territory, no damage done. Fair territory, he's out.
Anderson in there. 0-2. And hit him. It hit him. And the bases are loaded. Hernandez dropped down from the side. Ahead 0-2 on the count, and he hits the batter. And the Red Sox pick a break there. We'll see how Anderson is as Charlie Moss, the trainer, is joined by John McNamara. And take a look at Anderson and see where he was hit on the right arm. It appeared second time in the game he's been hit. And then Sparky Anderson not too happy about that. He will take the ball away from Hernandez and bring on the right-hander Mike Henneman. So a hit batsman loads the bases for the Red Sox with 1 out in the 8th inning. They have rallied for 2. They have the tying run at third, the lead run at second, a pad run at first. The batter will be Marty Barrett, as Willie Hernandez cannot get the job done in the 8th inning. He pitches 1/3 of an inning. He has given up 3 hits. And here's the hit batsman.
This pitch not even close. Right off the back of the elbow, it looks like. I think the first one got him in the back. That one got him in the back of the elbow.
Right above it, I think good, too good, because if they'd gotten him right on the point of the elbow, it would have been pretty serious probably. It looked as if he caught it in the arm above the elbow. So the bases are full as Hernandez gives up 3 hits. He has walked 1. He's hit a batter. Responsible for 3 runners. He's given up 2 runs. And Lee Smith starts to warm up for Boston. So now the Tigers, who had a 3-run lead a couple of times in this game, now have a 1-run lead with the bases loaded. And Mike Henneman, who came on to pitch the 10th on Monday, is out again here today.
Well, Henneman's their stopper in the bullpen. He came along at the end of last year to take over that job. Had a fine season for him and very effective. Drops down kind of a 3/4 delivery, sinker slider, and a good forkball or split finger fastball, whatever you want to call it, which makes him a very effective pitcher. You have to try to make him get that pitch up.
He was 1-1 with Toledo and then was called up by Detroit, where he was nothing short of sensational with an 11-3 record and 7 saves down the stretch. He worked 96 2/3 innings, gave up 86 hits. He struck out 75 and walked 30. And in the game on Monday, he came on to pitch the 10th inning and got the save. He faced 4 batters. Only one of them got on base. Marty Barrett, who he'll be facing here, reached on the error by Lou Whitaker in the 10th inning, but died there as Boggs hit into a force play.
He likes to work the outside part of the plate against right-handers and outside against left-handers. Very seldom comes in on a hitter.
So it's crunch time, as they say in the advertising business. Red Sox trying to get even and get ahead if they can in the bottom of the 8th inning. They have scored twice. Romine is at 3rd. Jody Reed at 2nd. Anderson is at 1st. And Marty Barrett, who is due, is at the plate. He's 0 for 4. Tiger infield at double play depth. Ball 1.
As I say, he works the outside part of the plate. He comes inside on the first pitch.
Barrett handles that outside pitch so well, but in the last couple of years has really turned around and been able to clear out the inside pitch effectively. There is a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike to Marty, who is lined to short, had a fielder's choice, lined to second, and fouled to second.
Henneman has one thing on his mind right here, and that's a ground ball.
Love to get it, wouldn't he? Barrett has one thing on his mind, to drive the ball somewhere. Get it over the infield. Ball 2. 2 balls and 1 strike. Boggs on deck.
At first and third, the Tiger infield is in. Ball hit tonight. I'm sure he'll come to the plate. At third base, Brookins has the option to go for the double play. Ball hit hard. He may go for the double play. Hit soft. He'll come to the plate.
Down to third, and Brookins will go to the plate. They've got 1. They do not get the double play. Ball boxed around. Here comes the runner to the plate. Reed scores a tying run. So the Red Sox have tied it up as the Tigers tried for an inning-ending double play, and a low throw by Heath off the glove of the first baseman, Ray Knight.
Ground ball to Brookins. Play to the plate. They have the force play here. Heath bounces out and makes the bad throw. Good job blocking the ball, but the ball bounces away, and that'll allow Reed to come on and score the tying run. Take a look at it from a different angle. Heath does everything right, bounces out, just makes a bad throw.
Anderson is at third base. Barrett at first, and Boggs is up. Strike one to Wade. Boggs has had 3 hits. A bunt single, a single to left, and a double to left. His last time up, he lined out to left. And they are playing him to left right now. Anderson, representing the lead run, is at third. Barrett at first. In tight. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Possible go-ahead run at third base, Brady Anderson. Got to be alive for any kind of a wild pitch, a ball that gets by the hitter, not by the catcher, excuse me.
He crowds Boggs, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike. 2-1. Three and 1. Changed around on Wade a little bit. Instead of saying, okay, play him to left and pitch him to left, pitch him outside. They are crowding him on this sequence, and the count is now 3 balls and 1 strike.
Looks like they're going to put him on. Not going to fool around with him with 3-1 count and pitch to Rice.
Yep. They will put him on, and that will load the bases and push Barrett up to second base. Boggs given the intentional pass. Bases loaded for Jim Rice. So the situation, 3 on, 2 outs, 8th inning, game tied, 5-5. Rice is 2 for 4, a single and a double. His double knocked in a run in the 5th inning. He has flied out to right field twice. Ball 1. Rice did not get up against Henneman on Monday. He was in the on-deck circle when Boggs hit into the force play to end the game. He belts it foul off the right side. 1 ball and 1 strike. Rice is the 9th man up this inning. It all began with a walk to Mike Greenwell. A flurry of singles, a hit batsman, an intentional walk. We've had it all, and the Red Sox have scored 3 times. Ball gets by. Here comes a run. He scores. Red Sox lead 6-5. Brady Anderson crossing as the ball got by Mike Heath. 6-5 Boston. Runners move to second and third. The Red Sox catch a break and they go ahead.
Looked like Heath had set up on the inside part of the plate. And this ball goes to the outside. Heath does not get it. In comes the go-ahead run.
Got to be a pass ball. Rice hits one towards short. Trammell with it. And the inning is over. But the Red Sox go ahead with 4 in the 8th. And we move to the 9th with Boston leading 6-5. Okay, we're going to the 9th inning. And Jody Reed is in at shortstop for the Boston Red Sox, who lead in this game. Reed, who came on as a pinch runner for Benzinger, who knocked in the big run to keep things going in the 8th inning. Jody at shortstop, and on the mound, Lee Smith.
Well, this is just where he wants to be, Ned, after opening day. One thing about relief pitchers, they get over their problems very quickly. They're always thrown into the fire. You win some, you're going to lose some. But I know that this is the place that he wants to be right now.
Absolutely. You probably couldn't wait to get out of there again after yesterday. And he's coming in now in a spot where he has a chance to protect the lead and get a save and get back at things. Get back in the race. So the Red Sox leading by a score of 6-5. And Lee Smith trying to save it for him. Coming on to face Chet Lemon. Dave Bergman is out on deck. Ball one. Lemon has 2 hits today, singled in the 4th and in the 6th. He's 2 for 3.
Where was that pitch? Was that high?
That must have been a last year's strike or a ball. Lemon cutting and fouling it off. 1 ball, 1 strike. Dave Bergman, a left-handed batter, will bat in Brooken's spot. Two balls and 1 strike. Out of play. The count is 2-2. Wes Gardner throwing in the bullpen for Boston. 6 runs and 11 hits for the Red Sox. 5, 9, and 1 error. 1 big error for the Tigers. Big error and a pass ball. Smith wanted another sign from Gedman, and Lemon backs out. Two and 2. Strike 3. There's one for Smith. Lemon called out on strikes. There's one away. And that brings the crowd to Lee. And that's the calling on Monday afternoon when he came in.
Nothing but heat right here from Lee Smith in a tough spot. Down low in the strike zone.
A lot of movement on it, too. Dave Bergman, who is a first baseman by trade, batting in place of Brookins. Strike 1. Darrell Evans is on deck. Evans will bat for Heath. Red Sox leading 6-5 in the 9th. Ball 1. 1 ball and 1 strike. Bergman last year hit .273 for the Tigers with 6 home runs, 22 batted in. Fouls it back. And Smith is ahead on the count. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
We talked about it in spring training, Ned, but one of the things that really impressed me about Smith down there was his control. Had an idea what he wanted to do with the ball. In and out, up and down.
1 ball, 2 strikes. And a 2-2 count. Strike 3. He's got him. 2 in a row for Smith. Bit that outside corner, and Bergman goes back.
Once again, the fastball on the outside part of the plate. Talk about hitting corners. Boom. You thought about it, but forget it.
So now it's going to be power against power as Darrell Evans will bat for Mike Heath. Evans, the first baseman in yesterday's game, went 0 for 5. But still has a great ability to turn the fastball around. High, ball 1. 2 outs in the 9th inning. The Red Sox holding to a 6-5 lead. Smith trying to save it for Dennis Lamb. Ball 2. 2-0.
Evans hit a ball pretty well off Smith the other day down to the 380 point.
Yes, he did. Hops it up. Shallow right field. Who's going to get it? Evans has it for the final out. And this game is over as the Red Sox come from behind, beat the Tigers 6-5, and Lee Smith comes on to redeem what happened on Monday. Our Texaco player of the game is Todd Benziger, who came in cold off the bench to provide a big hit to get the game within a one-run reach for the Red Sox in his first hit and his first at bat of the season on this cold afternoon. The final score, the Red Sox 6 and the Tigers 5. Stay tuned next for the Polaroid Red Sox instant replay.
Nesson